There is a group of women now suing the state of Texas over its near complete abortion ban. Among them, one who developed life-threatening sepsis and spent days in the ICU after being told by hospital doctors that although her baby had no chance of survival, she was not sick enough to have an abortion. Her story, along with interviews with Texas doctors who are navigating the state's abortion ban, are highlighted in a new piece in The New Yorker entitled, "In the Post-Roe Era, Letting Pregnant Patients Get Sicker by Design." Joining us now, the author of that article, contributing writer at The New Yorker, Stefania Taladrid. And in the piece you write in part, Stefania, quote, "The Texas doctors I spoke to, like their counterparts in other hospitals across conservative states, described OBGYN units where today workers must shoulder responsibilities that have little to do with saving the lives of mothers, let alone doing no harm. Instead, as pregnant women get sicker by design, doctors have been weighing the risk of offering treatment that they feel is right for a patient against the risk of legal repercussions that might cost them their livelihoods or even land them in prison. They've been soliciting the opinions of hospital lawyers and ethicists. They've been considering institutional liability and struggling to reinterpret concepts such as due diligence. In short, in a context of fear and bureaucratic anxiety, they have been scrambling, trying to reconcile abortion law language with the daily urgencies of women they're encountering on gurneys in emergency room cubicles. Just how endangered does a sick patient have to be before her doctor can intervene? And how much time can a doctor and her colleagues take in deciding before it's too late for a patient? And let's start right there, Stefania, because when a woman is enduring sepsis, often the condition can come on really fast. There isn't time for a hospital board and lawyers to meet, and women are now being caught in the middle of this and enduring intense pain, trauma, agony, and often being sterilized because of the position they're left in, something that could have been prevented. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely not. And thank you for having me. I mean, as the head of ACOG in Texas mentioned to me, this is a question of minutes, right? You're lucky if you have even hours. Not even days, right? And so the decision to intervene, the decision to treat a woman must come fast. And I think it's really helpful to put this into context because we've been warned that the overturning of Roe would have tremendous implications for women around the country, even before the ruling was announced. You might remember that The Lancet, the medical journal, issued an editorial saying women will die, right? And ever since, what we've seen is that in the country that is already one of the richest nations with the highest rates of maternal death, the impact is absolutely clear, right? And now we have doctors who, for quite some time, I think, were reluctant to talk about what they were seeing in Texas and elsewhere, come out and say this is unquestionable, and it's resulting in more harm to the patients that we're treating.
Yeah, this story is just god-awful. There's no real way to put it otherwise. What kind of, I mean, aside from laws that actually empower doctors to treat patients as they see medically reasonable and in their opinion, I mean, I guess there's, this is just a legal issue and we can raise hell all we want about it, but at the end of the day, the law is the law. And so women are just going to be consigned to suffer.
Right. And what the Center for Reproductive Rights case that you mentioned is asking for is more clarity, right? I mean, Texas, like many other states where abortion is now illegal, has several abortion bans, right? It has SB 8, which went into effect in 2021. It has a trigger law and a pre-Roe ban in effect. And each of those bans has its own exception. So you can just imagine just how confusing it is for doctors who are treating patients with life-threatening conditions to figure out, well, which law am I supposed to abide by? And what exception am I supposed to take into account here, right? I mean, it's just absolutely confusing to them.
All right. Contributing writer at The New Yorker, Stefania Taladrid, thank you so much for this incredible piece that you wrote.